You look like David
Happy.
every time I listen to the music.
I know. I sit there because we can see behind the scenes. We can see like we call in the green room. So if we had guests or whatever, I can always see them, and it's interesting because I'm like dancing to the music,
Yeah,
and you're not.
no, because you couldn't see me.
I guess I couldn't.
That's okay. So
Well,
it
happy
is.
end of summer.
Yeah, end of summer. I love the end of the summer. I'm not sad. I'm never sad at the end of the summer. I know good Canadian girl should be sad because we don't have a lot of summer. But I'm always excited when there's that little glimpse of fall.
Yeah.
Why? Because it always feels like it's time to like get back at it, do something new. Get your stuff organized, get excited about work again, and I'm sorry for you corporate people who all you really want to do is stay on vacation. But for us entrepreneurial types, we look forward to it. I mean,
Well, I mean, summer is summer. I don't have the sadness either because I feel like it flows into a good space. I love fall. It's my favorite time of year. For
yeah.
people who are listening all over the world, we get a little bit of a dip in the temperature, which is kind of nice. I look
Uh,
forward to going outside and seeing the colors. And I know they're supposed to be falling and all of that kind of stuff, but I absolutely love it. And you're right. Organization, getting into things,
yeah,
planning because you've got that last quarter and
yeah.
it's like, okay, let's make it happen before the end of the
Yeah,
year.
and rather than say, oh, I'll start in January, the best time to start is really September, October,
Yeah.
and get organized. And good time to launch things, good time to prepare or really, understand where you're going. I mean, we do our Life Map Navigator every year, and we do it in January. But it is really great for those of you who are in our community and in our program. It's great to get a jump start and start looking at your stuff and going, okay, where am I? What have I accomplished? Let's do a review in like December, make sure we're on track so that January comes around. We're not waiting till January to plan out next year, right? Because
Exactly.
that's
And it's also a good time right now to kind of go
yeah,
and look back at what
yeah,
your goals were in January and have you accomplished them? How far are you into your goals? And you still have a lot of time left,
still a lot of
right?
time.
Like
And
I
it's
feel like people are like, oh, well, the year's over. I don't know. You still have a lot of time left.
yeah. And a lot of people use, summer's the excuse. It's not really the excuse, but it's like it gets busy. I
Yeah.
mean, I live up here in cottage country, so I get a lot of visitors. So summer is very hard to get going, but we still do it, right? We're here with you guys. We come online. We have our coaching with our community every Wednesday. We're almost finished our AI mastermind. So we have one
Yeah,
more
this is our
session,
last week.
12 weeks. So, those guys have learned a lot, implemented a lot. And, even if you didn't join us, you can join the community and watch all the replays and
Yeah.
watch all the modules. So if you've ever been interested, now's the time. But here's the cool thing. We did the mastermind. All of our students got through it. And now they can implement all fall, right? They can
Yeah.
implement everything. So their 2025 is going to be rock solid when they start. So use that as something that you can look forward to as well. So you don't, even if you haven't done our mastermind, now's the time to go, okay, what did I really sit down and want to do last year and I didn't get done? And let me go find the programs, the tools, the people that will help me do it this fall. I can get it done in the next couple of months, and then I know my 2025 will rock, right?
Exactly. Because this is also for the people that said, I'm going to watch the course while I'm sitting on the beach. I'm
Yeah,
going to learn this while I'm at the cottage. I'm going to
yeah.
watch this training. Well, you didn't. Let's
And
be
now it's
real,
like,
right?
and we're in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
We were planning to launch something. We wanted to launch it in the summer. It Summer got away from us. There's so much happened. We were still working on it. We're working on it today. I was working on it this morning, and we'll be able to launch. Our absolute drop goal is to be able to do it for early September because we want to hit the holiday season. So we are going to do it. So even if you're sitting there in the summer and you're like, I have visitors, I don't have time, even if you only have 30 minutes every day, that will make a difference, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
if you didn't, get to all of those things, and again, like they said, we're in the same boat, our plan was to launch in the summer, but sometimes
Yeah.
life happens and you have to give yourself grace with that. And it's like, it's no problem. And we ran into things where we needed some extra help in getting things ready. No problem. We needed to find the right people. Now we
Yep.
have all of that in place. Now we can move forward. So
Right.
even though we only had a half an hour here and a half an hour there, we were still being productive so that we could actually make that
Still
happen. So
work,
very
you know,
exciting.
even when we're, we, like I said, we still show up for coaching. We still show up for when we're said we're going to be here. It doesn't matter if we're on vacation, if we're out of the province, out of the country, we still manage to be able to do it. So there really isn't an excuse. It's just lining up your time. And I think the important thing for to really consider, if you're this was me last year, 2 years ago. I was always tired. I still kind of am, but I'm better. I'm
Yeah.
always exhausted. I have a lot on my plate, and it was hard because if you had 30 minutes, you'd be like, I just want to rest, right?
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with, and that's a good time to look at it. Are you getting any exercise? Are you eating right? Is there things that you have to look after that better, right? And we were both
Yeah.
in the same boat, right? I mean, I knew better, but I always like put myself last, right? So I
Yeah.
don't have time to do any exercise because I got to do this other thing. And then it is true. I hate to say it because it's very cliche, but when you actually get some movement and you get and healthy eating in, you actually aren't that tired and you're able to do it.
Well, you're able to
So,
do more, right? Like
yeah,
you are able to do it. And yes, it's a cliche and whatever way you want to look at it, but it is true.
totally
So
true.
when, you're able to go to a class, eat better, whatever the case may be, you have energy in that half an hour that you have to
Yeah,
yourself to get
yeah,
that stuff done
yeah,
versus, sitting down and going, oh my God, I just need a half an hour just by myself. I want to watch
yeah.
TV, whatever's on Netflix, whatever the case is. But no, you do have the energy to do that. And I think when it comes to September, for those of you that have kids, for those of you that are in that back to
Oh,
school world, that's your focus. But I think you need to, yes, that's fine, absolutely. But what are you planning to do for your business
yeah.
when now you have a little bit more time or you're refocused? Whether you have kids or no kids or whatever the case may be, September, I think, is just that refocus, getting back into routine
Yeah.
so that you can get things done and rejig your schedule and be more on track.
And I really want to emphasize that take advantage of September and October because then what happens? Holiday season, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? You will find excuses, on November, December. Oh, I have to get visitors for Christmas. I have to do my shopping. Or whatever, but there's always November, December always end up being busier than you anticipate, right?
Yes.
That's the key. It's busier than you anticipate. So I would say grab your calendars today and block out September, October as much as you can. And really think about it. Sit down today and say, what did I want to do? Let me look back at January. What did I think I was going to accomplish? What did I want to do that I haven't done? Now let me slot it in for September, October before it gets crazy busy and I can get this organized and done. And that's really that's my number one advice
Yeah.
for anyone. Look at September as think of it as your January, right? Don't wait for January
No.
because what happens in January, you're going to do a whole new plan and then you're going to give yourself another month or two to implement it. And then you've lost a couple months.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah, it's
better.
interesting how this sort of, I call this sort of the second half of the year, right?
Yeah.
Including the beginning of next year. So we look at, which is, this is where some people look at it, which is, I'm just going to say incorrect, right? It's like the
Right.
last quarter. Well, I'm almost done. Does it really matter now? I might as well just focus on 2025 goals. Forget what I had planned for 2024. It's too late. Then you get,
No.
and it's not. And then people get into the mindset of, well, January I'll plan, February I'll look at the plan, March, well, now the first quarter's gone. So if
Yeah.
you look at it that way, unfortunately, you're losing 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
We break it up
You're
into
losing a lot.
quarters, and that's a lot of time. So no, take now, like they said, take your time, block your time, schedule your time, look at your goals. What did you want to accomplish in 2024? And what do you want to plan ahead for 2025? Start to look at that so that when we do the Life Map Navigator in January, you have some of those thoughts already and you're already on, and then you can plan your 2025.
So let me give a little plug to Life Map Navigator.
Of course.
For those of you who have been doing it with us for like 10, 12 years, every year we might have changed a little bit. We've changed the name, a few things, but because what we realized going along the path, we realized that in order to really have a great year ahead, you needed to really plan everything. Yeah. So not only your business, but your life. So you needed to plan what your goals were for yourself, right? For your health, for relationships. And we put it all together in this very simplified way to be able to do it. And by the end of the course, which will take you very short time frame, okay? By the end of it, you will have your entire plan for the year ahead in everything. Yeah. So the reason that we were able to accomplish our personal goals, which included health and wellness, was because they were in our plan. They were in our map. And every year we'd say we wanted to get better, but we never put that part. Our business plan was great.
We never ever did put the personal, and that's an interesting, I didn't really think about that, but you're right. And then we talked about it, but we didn't actually put it in the plan until this year.
Yeah. So this year we expanded the entire thing and we're very detailed about what is it that you want. Not just there's no, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? It's like, I want to feel better. I want to get healthy so that I can accomplish more, whether it's in business, in my life, in my relationships. But you really can't do that unless you're looking after yourself. And I'm like the guiltiest because I've been, a care provider for a very long time. So I was very low on the list. And I didn't do anything until, my naturopath scared me a little bit and said, hey, it's time to look after yourself. So, so we were both we both bought in and we started changing things. We're both fairly good. I mean, we're healthy. We weren't eating terribly or anything, but we realized what we needed in order to give us more energy, to get us more time to do the things that we wanted to do. Like I said, not just business. So those are the type of things that we do in Life Map Navigator. So if you have not been through it, you need to join our community soon, sometime in the fall, because you're going to be able to not only get access to start it, but you'll be able to join us in January when we have it full blown out. And that's what you really need to get ahead for the year. So if you haven't looked after yourself, if you haven't put yourself as a priority, this is your chance. And honestly, with my schedule, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I have a terrible schedule. So there isn't
really do.
I do not enough hours in the day to accomplish what I want. It's true. And so I have to learn to prioritize, which I have this year. And there are some things that you basically, it's non-negotiable anymore, right? It's like, no, even when people came up to visit, I said, sorry, I got to go to class, right? I have to go to class because if I don't, I will fall off that train. And that's what's keeping me moving forward at a great pace, right? Same with you. You started looking after yourself. You started going to class. You went with your naturopath's advice on what you need to do. So we were very focused, and that completely translates to your business. Completely.
That's what I was just going to say. And I think that's the part that's really not talked about enough, is that people feel like they have the personal goals, which is over here on the maybe, whether it's nutrition, wellness, for whatever reasons, you want to have more energy, that kind of stuff. And then you have the business over here. Well, here are my goals for business, whatever. If you don't have your personal goals of being well, eating, exercise, to have that energy, you will not accomplish over here. And we were like the poster children of that concept. because we were like, well, wait a minute, why don't I have the energy to do all these things I want to do in my business? But as soon as we focused over here, we were able to have the energy, we were able to eat better. All of a sudden, we were able to do things in the evening. We were able to get everything accomplished during the day. Therefore, our business goals were
Yeah.
reached faster.
And just so everyone's clear, when we say eat better, get healthy, it's not like we were sitting and eating like piles of Chips Ahoy cookies or anything. That's not what we're doing. What we're talking about is that so for me personally, I had a tendency of skipping meals all the time because
Right.
I just didn't have time. So I was just like, I hate breakfast and I can't be bothered to make lunch because I'm busy, and I would skip it. And what I didn't understand was skipping all of those actually hurt my body, increased my fatigue, made everything worse. So actually, I had to learn to eat more healthy food when I'm supposed to instead of skipping. So
Yeah.
it doesn't, like I said. So if you think, oh well, I don't worry about it, I don't need to lose weight, or I don't. It's not about that.
Not
It's
about
not
that.
about that, right?
Yeah.
It's just
And for me, it was an interesting thing of, it wasn't that I was eating the wrong things. It was just I was eating them in the wrong times. So
right.
as soon as I switched up what I was doing, I was able to, all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, now I feel a lot better. So yeah, we're not sitting on the couch eating bonbons, although some days I do want to do that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But it's learning those strategies which we talk about all the time in our group, and so we're going to do a program on this, right?
I
I think
think
we're
we
going
need
to do
to.
a program on this to tell you what worked for us, what our secrets were that made things stick, because before then nothing did. And part of it is the Life Map Navigator. It's putting those things
Yeah.
in perspective and understanding, but it's simple little things that we didn't know. Like we didn't know, and we're not exactly 20, so we should have known. But what's great about it, and what I love, is all these things that we've been doing for the last year or so. We're passing that on to our young kids. They're not young, but they're 20. But are passing it on to them, so they're getting these healthy habits early,
Yeah.
right? They're
And
learning
people
those.
are asking you, right? Like,
Yeah,
you're posting a lot about what you're doing, and people are asking you questions now. Like, well, wait a
yeah.
minute. Like, if you were my age, what would you have
What would
done?
you do?
Or, what
And
do you
that's why.
suggest? Or how did you get started? Or what were some of the stumbling blocks? So I love the fact that people are recognizing that, yeah, in your life, it wasn't the easiest to implement that into your schedule. How did you do it?
Yeah, like
'Cause sometimes that's
I
also
am like it would drive me nuts watching these people like on Instagram and tell me about, oh, they're doing all these walks and doing all this stuff, and I would just be like, well, yeah, if I had time that'd be great, but it must be nice to have your life, right? And then I just kind of stopped with the excuses and thought, okay, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how I can do this. So if I can do it seriously
yeah,
with my schedule, anyone can really, and the only thing that's holding you back is you. And I would like seriously think about how that's impacting your business.
absolutely,
Do you
absolutely.
even know it is? Have you even paid attention to it? When do you get tired? When do you quit at the end of the day? When do you even midday? How much do you accomplish? I would rather work. Stacy and I work in the morning usually. I
Yeah.
would rather get up early and get everything done by noon than do it slowly, because I like to be able to, by 3 o'clock, I'm just done. I'm done. I
Yeah.
don't want to
Well,
work.
and that's building in the flexibility. And I think that's the
Yeah.
advantage. And when you do own a business, sometimes, for people who have left the corporate world, sometimes they get lost in the, I have to work the 9 to 5,
Yeah.
but you don't. So if you
No.
can work in flexibility, and I remember a long time ago, I actually got into an argument with a girl. We were having coffee, and she was very adamant about work-life balance. We actually had an argument about the word balance. And I'm like, well, no, it's flexibility. And if you can work that in, that where your highs are in regards to your
Yeah.
productivity, and then where your lows are in regards to times that you might not be as productive, and that by 3 o'clock maybe you want to go to a 4:30 class or whatever the case may be, and then you can still get things done in the evening if you need to.
Yeah.
That's what you need to understand about yourself, and knowing your own patterns and where you can work in that flexibility. That's the most important thing.
And you need to know that it changes over time,
Yes.
right? So I used to be the night owl, that I love getting everything done. like after dinner, I would stay up till 2 or 3, and I was so good at it. That was my time. Can't do that anymore. And so things change, and you have to look at yourself and realize, maybe, a year ago you were a different person. So you have to say, okay, well, that was great, but I can't think of myself when I was 20 and doing this. I have to think of myself now, and what does that productive time look like? If you had told me that I'm most productive at 5, 6, 7 in the morning back then, I would have said you're crazy. I mean, I've always gotten up early, but never, done as much in the morning. So really part of Life Map Navigator is to be able to analyze that, right? To look at your patterns and go, what is it really? How do I function the best? Where's the best time for me to do this? And where is that, for me, it's like, where is that time that's really, really not productive? You're really tired. And maybe that's the time. That's what I picked, right? That's the time that I go to class. I take a walk, because realistically, you're just going to sit on the couch because you're tired. Yeah. So instead of that, use that time to do what you've been avoiding, right, for yourself. And then that changes. Now, it doesn't mean that's going to work for you. Some people want to get up first thing in the morning. They don't want to think, right? They want to get up, they want to exercise or meditate or do whatever. But I can't tell you the best time. And if you listen to those people on TikTok and Instagram, they can't tell you either. They can tell you the best time for them.
Right. But that's also why people keep doing the Life Map Navigator every year. Yeah. Because things change. Right? Yeah. So just because you did it 5 years ago, now I'm good. Well, no, life changes, things change, your business changes, your personal goals. Like I said, Faye used to be a night owl. Now she's morning. I would wake up in the morning, because I've always had very specific bedtimes. I would get up in the morning and you're like, oh, guess what? I was looking at it 2 in the morning. Right? I did this, and this. And we're like, wait a minute, we're on opposite times. So I'm glad that she's on my timeline now, my time zone. Now when I go visit, we can go to bed at a reasonable hour. That's okay. But recognizing that within yourself and understanding that things change. So just because you kind of had it mapped out that this is the way I am, this is how I'm going to do things, etc., things change. So that's why people keep coming back year after year.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we didn't start this to plug Life Map Navigator. That's not why, because it's not even, it wouldn't be something we would plug in August, to be honest. Like you won't see it on our feed or anything, but it's there and accessible for our community members so they can get it anytime they want. But I think it's important, if we've just kind of sparked an interest for you guys, whether you come and do it with us or you do something on your own, it doesn't really matter. What's important here is to understand that this September, October is the perfect opportunity for you to get back into the groove, to really analyze what you want to do before the holiday headaches show up. And as much as we, we have this romanticized vision of holidays, which we do, right? Everyone's always like, oh my God, I can't wait. I love the holidays, whatever your religion is or the philosophies. I love the holidays and all that. It ends up being a lot more work than you expect. A lot of things.
You're coming for that long?
Yeah.
Do you have to? No, it is a lot more work.
And there's still Thanksgiving for North Americans. There's still Thanksgiving in the midst, which for us in Canada is October, so it's early. So really September is our thing. And then for the U.S., we'll forget it after Thanksgiving. The U.S. is basically a wash, right?
Exactly.
Their December is done.
But basically at this time of year, you've gotten through summer, we're coming to an end, and for the rest of the year, there's still lots and lots of time left to achieve those 2024 goals.
Yeah. And if if you're not sure and you just want to start something, go to our mastermind, themastermind.city, go to our free training page, our resources tab, our free training, and grab some free training and see if that will start you getting motivated to do something. So there's tons of different things, whether you want to, understand where you are in your business, how to be more visual, how to start a podcast, how to learn to meditate. All of those are on our free training tab. So no charge, don't have to worry about it. And so it is an opportunity for you to really go, okay, at least that one step. If you go to that tab and you download something, that's a step in the right
In
direction.
the right direction.
Right? So start
Absolutely.
somewhere.
Exactly. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.